race, religion, it's all an illusion. It's just an experience. We're all each other. I don't care if you're Jewish or Islamic or Chinese or wherever you are. It's just an experience of the same consciousness. Somehow that is twisted, lied about, so that they have an excuse for saying we must silence him because he's a hate preacher. I am saying that hate is the way we got into this mess. I'm saying in the events they're trying to stop, love is the answer, not the love of physical attraction, which has become the way love has been misunderstood, but a love that understands we're all each other, and that fighting each other and hating each other is just confirmation of a complete misunderstanding of reality and the nature of self and who we are. But if you can't have someone silenced by telling people what they're saying, then say what they're not saying and justify it that way. And have you noticed this? I notice it all the time. Those groups that scream hate at people do it with hate in their face, hate in their eyes. You see, another great irony is that these groups, I'm not talking people in general, I'm talking these particular groups, what I call hate groups, and they are hate groups because their modus operandi is to get people like me hated by the public, thus they're hate groups. But what they're doing is pointing at me and saying racist. And I'm saying race is a hoax. Race is an illusion. Race is just an experience. And in the greater scheme of things, an absolute irrelevance. But those that are screaming that are obsessed with race. They completely self-identify with it. It totally consumes them. And once you self-identify yourself with being a race, suddenly other races are there to be in conflict with you. It's all an illusion. And it's extraordinary that someone who has the philosophy that I have can be painted by these tiny hate groups in the way that I am. But this is what happens, you see. Again, we come back to the postage stamp consensus. We come back to giving your mind away. They go to venues and they say, this guy's going to say it's the Jews. He's going to deny the Holocaust. I never have. And when people have said to these groups, show where he's ever done that. Silence. And the other thing they won't do is debate with me. I've asked them. I've said, I'll take you all on in a debate. All you against little me, and we'll have a chat, we'll have a debate. No, we won't go there. Why? Because throwing mud and running is the way it's done, always has been done by groups like this. But what happens is they go to the venues, and the venues, they start to virtue signal. Well, part of it is virtue signaling, and part of it is fear of also being called racist by having me use their venue. And they pull. Not all of them, no, but they pull. And do you know, not only don't the venues come to me and say, actually, they're saying you're saying this. Are you going to say that? And the answer would be, no, they don't. Not only that, they don't even tell you. We had this is the crazy war we're going into, Brian.
Is this political correctness?
Yeah, political correctness and fear. People are frozen in fear of saying the wrong thing. It's destroying human discourse, thus destroying the interaction and sharing of information. It's being done on purpose. We had a launch for the book at Old Trafford, Manchester United's ground. And the reason we went there, supposed to be a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, was because the Lowry Hotel in Manchester had pulled the event where it was first on the very basis of what I've just said, we read about the fact that it had been cancelled in the media. And that's the other thing, the media play an extraordinarily important part in this. I'm looking on the internet when the Lowry Hotel in Manchester pulled that book launch. I'm seeing a headline in various newspapers, on websites, including the Manchester Evening News, Coventry Telegraph, ITV television. Hate preacher David Icke's event cancelled by hotel. They had taken a press release from the hate groups, completely lying about me and my views, and repeated it. And I contacted them, and I said, before I call my lawyer, will you just send me all the evidence you have that the headline's true? Gone in minutes. 2-3 minutes, gone. Taking it down, because they have no evidence. It's repeating. But you see, even journalists are terrified of saying what they should be saying as journalists, which is, hold on a minute. What do you mean you want to stop this man having a public platform? Well, whatever happened to freedom of speech? He doesn't agree with what you're saying, but he's not trying to stop you speaking. He would never try to get a venue to stop you speaking because he believes in freedom of speech and free discourse. Why are you trying to stop him? What's your agenda? No. They just take their press release and repeat it. And what happened with Manchester United, it was bizarre, is they eventually started trying to get Manchester United to pull. And I don't think they would have managed it, because Manchester United said to us when we booked it, and they knew about the background, they said, "Oh no, we're too big. We don't bow to that pressure now. We're too big." Okay. And I don't think at that point it would have done. On the morning, it was a Friday, recently. On the morning after the previous day, my son Jamie and the team that's been working on it, we're communicating with Manchester United staff, and all the preparations going ahead. On the morning, the local MP, a Labour MP called Kate Green, starts on social media because she's approached by these hate groups. And she says, yes, I'm not having this, basically. I'm going to call Manchester United. And she calls Manchester United, and they pull it. And another group involved was Kick It Out, which is an anti-racist group within football. But this is the point. Kate Green had no idea what I'm saying. She's never read a book. She's never heard me speak. She had nothing. The hate groups say, I'm going to say this, and I believe this, all of it is nonsense. And so she just takes it as read and repeats it to Manchester United. She contacts Kick It Out, an anti-racist group. Never read a book of mine. Don't know anything about me. But, racism. And this is the other thing, anti-racist groups need to be very, very careful that they don't see racism everywhere where it's not, because it suits their reason for being. So Manchester United then cancel. We find out on social media. My son, who's been talking to them for months, goes out to Old Trafford to say what's going on. Not only will they not speak to him, they got the security to escort him off the premises. This is what you're dealing with. People have no idea what you're dealing with, just to literally have a platform to talk about the need to love each other, the nature of reality. It's absolute madness. But this is the crazy world we're in.
Is this the grand plan of the Illuminati, or is this just now the sheep acting like the sheep?
No. It's both.
Do you want to hear something crazy, David? I believe and agree with 90% of what you're saying. And over the past 6 years, I've had 400 of what I believe some of the greatest minds in the world sit in that chair. And many of the most advanced ones, including Dorian Yates, 6-time Mr. Olympia, Dennis McKenna, who was a brother of Terence McKenna and the psychedelic movement, all come down to this conclusion: we are all one.
Yeah.
And when we can get away from these senses and contact our higher power and go to the love each other, that's how we can advance as a entity that we are human. The only part I'm not yet connected with your reality is that I think that the enemy is in ourselves, and it's not necessarily external that's making us do this. But once you get past your headlines, which are, you're in the hate groups, or, for me, the shape-shifting reptilians, what's underneath, you are very London real, David. You are very much congruent in the things that I believe. And it is about love, I believe, and about empowerment is what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's about remembering what we've been manipulated to forget. And this is the point that I would make in that area, Brian, that you say you're not going with yet. There is a reason why humanity has forgotten its true self. You described in what you just said how to empower ourselves, right? This force does not want humanity to empower itself. It wants humanity in a state of bewildered, confused, chaotic subservience. This is why the true nature of reality is so systematically suppressed, because once we remember, it's over. It's over. Therefore, the force which wants to enslave us for its own purposes has to keep us in ignorance of true self, because without that, it's got no power over us.